Hello everyone, my name is Jordan and welcome to Crocodile MTG. If you're new here, Crocodile MTG is a YouTube channel focused on competitive gameplay of the game Magic the Gathering, but also how to learn and grow as a Magic player. So if you're new here, welcome, consider subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want, I can go over the deck a little bit here, but if you want a more in-depth look, I do have a couple deck techs over on my YouTube channel. That is at, if you type !YouTube, that's at youtube.com/crocodilemtg. So I'm not going to go over the entire list. I'm just going to go over a couple key cards that I think are good here in Pioneer. So the mana base here I really like for Bant Spirits. It's a lot of 4-ofs. We're just playing all untap lands except the Botanical Sanctum after you get your third land down. Of course, that doesn't enter untapped. But the mana base feels pretty good here. I like Spectral Sailor when we're on the play. Spectral Sailor is one of those cards I cut fairly often. There might be argument to keep it, but it's good against those certain matchups where you just need, like, later in the game, you need just something to draw you extra cards. Spectral Sailor kind of fills that role, but post Sideboard, I end up cutting them quite often. I think Mausoleum Wanderer is better in most matchups. But again, Spectral Sailor is pretty decent here. Selfless Spirit, extremely good in Pioneer right now. A lot of the targeted removals just destroy and not -X/-X. Now that being said, we do have to watch out for things like Languish or what's the Cry of Carnarium is the other one. We have to watch out for things like that, but hopefully if we're playing against those, we can get a couple Lords down and make some timely plays. Nimblegast Herald is honestly one of the best cards. I think it has to be a 4-of right now in Pioneer. The way the metagame is set up, you have to be able to hit all your opponent's creatures. Being able to tap down key blockers or key attackers is extremely important and extremely good. We have 8 Lords here. We have your Empyrean Eagle, which gives all creatures with flying +1/+1. But then we also have Supreme Phantom, which gives all spirits +1/+1. Empyrean Eagle is really important, especially if we go to the sideboard, because when we're bringing in the Archangel Avacyn, it actually comes down as a 5/5 if we have Empyrean Eagle down, where if we have Supreme Phantom, it's still just a 4/4. But Archangel Avacyn in the sideboard, extremely good from what I've seen. We have a couple Settle the Wreckages, which are good in key situations. We have a Deputy of Detention. We have, of course, our 4-of Spell Quellers, but we also have 2 Brazen Borrowers here. Brazen Borrower is not a spirit, but it's an extremely good value card. Being able to instant speed Petty Theft to just return something, it's really good. It's a mirror breaker, but overall it's extremely good and extremely important to have in these matchups. It also has flying, which Empyrean Eagle gives it, makes it a 4/2, which is pretty decent as well. Of course, we're splashing green for the 4-of Collective Company. Collective Company is one of the best cards in this deck, obviously. Being able to hit 2 3-drops and ramping up for 4 mana to 6 mana is extremely good. Being able to hit 2 key creatures triggers not only Nimblegast Herald a bunch of times, but whatever we're trying to do. If we're trying to counter something, we can find our Spell Quellers. Looking at the top 6, being able to basically dig through time and put 2 things on the battlefield from that dig is extremely good. And I'd argue with anyone that says it's not. Empyrean Eagle, again, just our flyer, but it was also a spirit, so it gets pumped here. But yeah, overall, Mausoleum Wanderer for the like 1-ofs or 2-of instants and sorceries, which a lot of instants and sorceries are floating around right now in Pioneer. So being able to counter them with a 1-drop is pretty decent. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee this morning. In the sideboard, we have our Rest in Pieces and Dampening Spheres as our typical removal here. I already mentioned the Archangel Avacyn and the Deputy of Detention. We're also running a 3-of Mystical Dispute, 2-of Disdainful Stroke. There's a lot of decks running bigger mana at the moment, so 2 Disdainful Strokes I think is the correct play. I like the 3 Mystical Disputes. I don't think with 2 Disdainful Strokes we want 4, so I like the 3-2 split here. Again, I mentioned Settle the Wreckage already, a couple key situations. We're also running Deck and Stone. Deck and Stone is one of the best removals in Pioneer at the moment. It's it exiles all the creatures. It gives them clues, but really in this deck, clues don't matter. Most of the time, we're going to outgrind them. It also only hits your opponent's creatures. So in the mirror breaker, or in the mirror match here, this card can be a complete mirror breaker because it can exile like your opponent's lords, especially if they have multiple. But then it doesn't hit ours. It's not like Detention Sphere. Similarly, Deputy of Detention's in here for similar reasons. This deck before that I was playing, let me see if I can pull up the list here, was running 4 Deputy of Detentions in the sideboard. I didn't mind that. I thought it was good, especially with Collected Company. But I think having the 2 Deck and Stones is better. I also cut the 4th Deputy for the Archangel Avacyn. And then, I just completely revised the sideboard here. So I think this is the ideal Bant Spirits list at the moment. But we're going to go ahead and jump into a league. I have had 2 5-0s with this particular list. So let's go ahead and see if we can get another here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out the description below for more Magic the Gathering content. This was Jordan with Crocodile MTG, and we will see you next time.